Yesterday, I came across this TikTok live, and this Trump supporter was going on and on about the terrible job that Kamala Harris was doing as far as the hurricane relief, talking about the debunked the ridiculous notion that FEMA was only giving hurricane victims $750. Just ridiculous stuff because Trump supporters are very low information voters. All right. But it just reminded me of what this Republican did, Representative Anna Luna. She went to the Twitter on October 7th, right here, to say this. We have a Category 5 hurricane headed right to Pinellas, and Kamala Harris is taking this time to attack Governor Ron DeSantis. Cut the crap. We need FEMA dollars freed up, all assets. Stop attacking Ron and do your job. What is the job of the vice president? What is the role of the vice president, and who holds the strings of the federal government? It is people like her that are supposed to vote to free up funding. Vice presidents have no purse string authority. Number one, even presidents are not kings or queens. I really wish these low information voters would stop talking so much. But this person, Florida Republican, demands hurricane aid she tried to block. Let's just talk about the hypocrisy of these Republican politicians. So obviously, Hurricane Milton has already hit and they're doing the cleanup. So this is a little old, but I just wanted to highlight this part. As Hurricane Milton approaches the Florida coastline, Luna has waded into a growing spat between Vice President Kamala Harris and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. But just last month, as Hurricane Helene approached the United States, Luna voted to shut down the federal government, vetoing a measure to extend FEMA funding by $20 billion. Luna was among 82 House Republicans who voted against the deal and one of 11 Florida lawmakers who casted dissenting votes. These people are so full of it. They sit up and talk about the terrible job that Kamala Harris is doing while voting against funding for these people in the wake of the hurricane path. And that brings me to Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, who will not call the Congress back into session. He said additional hurricane aid can wait until Congress is back in session. So he's just like, these victims can wait a little bit longer. These people are such hypocrites. They don't give a damn about their own constituents. It is amazing because Mike Johnson is in Louisiana. That is part of the Hurricane Alley. These people don't give a damn about their own people. Speaker Mike Johnson on Sunday said passing additional hurricane aid for states impacted by Hurricanes Helene and Milton can wait until Congress is back in session after the election. Election is in November. We're still in October. CBS Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan asked him why he thinks it's fine to wait until November for Congress to pass more aid for hurricane victims. He said, well, it can wait because remember the day before Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida and then went up and through the states and wound up in Senator Tillis's state of North Carolina. Congress appropriated $20 billion additional dollars to FEMA so that they would have necessary resources to address immediate needs. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina was part of a bipartisan group of senators to sign a letter urging Senate leaders to think about bringing lawmakers back into session this month to enact disaster legislation before the end of the year. House lawmakers have also urged Johnson to bring the chamber back into session. A group of Democrats sent a letter last week asking him to do so, and Representative Paulina Luna posted on social media, if Congress goes into special session, we can get it passed immediately. This needs to happen. But why did you vote against it to begin with? What is wrong with these people? Okay. The continuing resolution Congress passed to avert a government shutdown last month allow for FEMA to use the funds fiscal 2025 resources faster for disaster response for the duration of the nearly 3-month stopgap, allowing the agency to access a roughly $20 billion pot starting October 1st. But it notably excluded any additional FEMA funding. Johnson said that as of Sunday, less than 2% of the already passed funding has been distributed. He said FEMA needs to do its job and disperse the funds to affected communities. FEMA officials said they have sufficient resources to respond to the pair of hurricanes until Congress returns, but they also indicated nearly half of that money is already spent. The speaker said the affected states, including Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, need to assess damage from the storm and calculate their needs before requesting more money from Congress. As soon as that is done, Congress will meet in a bipartisan fashion. We will address those needs. We'll provide the additional resources, but it would be premature to call everyone back now. These people are so reactive. They are not proactive. They don't give a damn about these people, but Republicans, Trump voters, these low information voters are still blasting Kamala Harris as if she is the problem, as if Trump will fix it, even though Trump, what did he do in Puerto Rico but throw some paper towels at people? He is not. What kind of leadership does he have when he was in California talking about he would hold off if there were wildfires and not give funding or relief? What did he do? What was it, North Carolina, where he gave 1% of what that governor signed off on? Trump is not a good leader in this aspect, and these Republicans don't give a damn right now, but they want to shift blame. But Republican voters are just gullible enough to actually believe that this is on the shoulders of Kamala Harris. And then the way Republicans are demonizing FEMA got FEMA workers actually getting threats. So this says suspect arrested after reports of threats toward FEMA operations in North Carolina. These FEMA people are on the ground trying to help with cleanup, and then they got folks actually believing the lies that the right is putting out, the disinformation campaigns, acting like FEMA is going to take people's houses and only giving $750. These people are so ridiculous that now FEMA people are getting threats. A North Carolina man was arrested over the weekend for allegedly threatening harm against FEMA employees responding to Hurricane Helene, according to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office. William Jacob Parsons, 44, was arrested and charged with going armored to the terror of the public, a misdemeanor, Captain Jamie Keever said in a news release issued Monday. Parsons was armed with a pew-pew and a rifle. How in the world is this a misdemeanor? So this dude is 44. That is a hard-lived 44 years old. The sheriff's office began investigating Saturday after receiving a call that a man made the comment about possibly harming FEMA employees working after the disaster of Hurricane Helene in the Lake Lure and Chimney Rock area. Parsons was later found that day after investigators received information about the color and license plates of his vehicle, according to the sheriff's office. Parsons was arrested in his car outside a grocery store that is functioning as a storm relief site. Parsons is now free on a $10,000 secure bond, the sheriff's office said. It was not immediately clear whether Parsons had an attorney. CNN was unable to reach Parsons on Monday. Threat caused some FEMA offices to close. So this North Carolina man is causing the cleanup in North Carolina to get paused because they're out here being ridiculous. Aid to several communities impacted by Hurricane Helene was temporarily paused in parts of North Carolina over the weekend due to reports of threats against FEMA amid a backdrop of misinformation about responses to recent storms. Some FEMA teams helping disaster survivors apply for assistance in rural North Carolina are currently working as secure disaster recovery centers in counties where federal workers are receiving threats, a FEMA spokesperson said on Monday. For the safety of our dedicated staff and the disaster survivors we are helping, FEMA has made some operational adjustments, the spokesperson said in a statement. Disaster recovery centers will continue to be open as scheduled. Survivors continue to register for assistance as we continue to help the people of North Carolina with their recovery. All right, y'all. Y'all go ahead and weigh in. All of these lies, this disinformation, all of this is so ridiculous and is harming people, and they just won't stop because the people on TikTok are still spreading lies. The people on Twitter are still spreading lies, and Trump supporters, these maggots, actually just eat it up. They eat it up. They don't care about the fact that Trump and them just keep lying to them. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, so do we remember this man? This man that went viral over the spring because he was talking about women should be, they've been fed a lie that they should focus on their career and their education when they could be focused on being homemakers. This dude, Harrison Butker, people don't really know his name, but they knew his name after that because he basically was like, y'all supposed to be happy to be in the home. Why are you out here even graduating? But he was called to do that commencement speech. This dude, okay, well, he went and he was doing some campaigning with Josh Hawley of Missouri. So this article is from People. On Thursday, he was out. He was out with Josh Hawley, and he was on Fox talking with Laura Ingraham. And he addressed the reaction to his May commencement speech, in which he talked about the diabolical lies told to women about working rather than becoming homemakers. Okay, so he says he's saddened that some people took it in a poor manner. I was talking to a specific crowd that I think was able to understand what I was trying to say, but I was trying to speak life for so many women that have dedicated their life to being a homemaker and being the one that raises the children, he explained. And it's a beautiful role, but it's not a role that should be diminished. The NFL player went on to say that it maybe was countercultural to speak those values, but noted it was something that he watched his mother, Elizabeth Butker, who is an accomplished physicist, and wife, Isabel, do at home. There's nothing shameful if you are a woman you want to spend time with your family and raise your children. So it's not putting down anyone who maybe wants to get a great education and have a career. The wild thing is that there's a time and place. Obviously, the women who are graduating are thinking about graduating. And the way he was talking about it is like women have to be either or. Women have to be either or. And nobody thinks that, women can't be good mothers and working mothers don't spend time with their children. That's the part that I get tired of. And like he says, his mother is a physicist. So does he have some mommy wounds that need to be addressed? Because he in this conversation is talking about women need to step aside. So once again, women need to diminish themselves and just become the servants of the household. You were born with a uterus, so you're supposed to be a wife appliance that is in the home, a wife appliance and an incubator, and that's pretty much it, despite the fact that his mother is a physicist. Here's his mother on the emory.edu website, Elizabeth Butker, MS, Department of Radiation and Oncology. She is a physicist, number 2, whatever that level ranking is, an oncology physicist. Elizabeth has previously spoken out about her work as a medical physicist and praised her son's athletic accomplishment, but she and her husband don't speak to the press often or publicly post on social media. I grabbed this from the article that went viral over the spring, because people were just like, he's sitting up here talking about being a homemaker and his mother is a career woman. So like I said, does he have some mommy wounds that need to be addressed? She is a clinical medical physicist. She works in the Department of Radiation Oncology at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Butker's mom's medical career was inspired by her father, James Keller, who worked for Emory's Winship Cancer Institute for nearly 3 decades. He worked in the Department of Hematology and Medical Oncology for 13 years. So these people are out here saving lives, but this man wants to just, make it all about a woman's calling just to be in the home, to spend time with their kids, as if women can't do bigger things and help lots of people as well as spend time with their family. Women can do both. Women juggle families and work, and we have been. All right, let's get back to this man. But it's more talking about how beautiful it is for women to just maybe just step aside and prioritize their family and spend time with their children and raise their family. And that's what I was just trying to speak love about. And the crazy thing is like, step aside. Why? No one tells men that they have to step aside. Men could have a career and have a family, but no one expects men to just sit down and pick one or the other. Like, why can men be full humans and women can't? Like, this is the reason why this is so tiresome. And this is the reason why I hope women keep allowing the birth rate to plummet to hell until our full humanity is recognized that we can juggle, we can do these different things, and we deserve to be respected. The fact that some women have to like completely immerse themselves in the title of mother in order to be respected by some people as if they don't love their children, other than that, it is what is irksome. All right, y'all. You guys, I will put his words, I'll put some of the interview with Laura Ingraham at the end. I didn't want y'all to stop watching because he started talking, but it's going to follow this. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Young women and college students, and these are friends of mine, people who work with me or have worked with me in the past. They were just recoiled from your comments because I think they took them the wrong way. To all those women out there watching tonight, maybe professionals, maybe some staying at home with their family, being a homemaker, what do you say to kind of still calm them down?
Well, I'm definitely saddened that they took it in a poor manner. I was talking to a specific crowd that I think was able to understand what I was trying to say, but I was trying to speak life for so many women that have dedicated their life to being the homemaker, being the one that raises the children. And it's a beautiful role, but it's not a role that should be diminished. I know maybe it's countercultural to speak those values, but I was able to see my wonderful mother sacrifice so much to be at the home as much as she could to raise me. I was able to experience my wife, now that we have 3 children, being able to be present with the children, and I see that amazing bond that they have, and I go, wow, this is so important for our society, and there's nothing wrong, there's nothing shameful if you are a woman and you want to spend time with your family and raise your children. So it's not putting down anyone who maybe wants to go get a great education and have a career, but it's more talking about how beautiful it is for women to maybe just step aside and prioritize their family and spend time with their children and raise their family. And that's what I was just trying to speak love
now,
about.
Harrison, are you're supporting Holly? Does this mean you're supporting Donald Trump?
Well, I'm supporting the president that's going to be the most pro-life president. I think Donald Trump, topic that is the most crucial topic for me. I want us to be fighting for the most vulnerable, fighting for the unborn, and that's what we should prioritize, and that's obviously what Senator Hawley is doing as a man of faith.